Hey, Wealth Quench family. Let me ask you this. How many times have you looked at your paycheck, calculated all your expenses, and thought, why am I not further ahead by now? You work hard, you earn consistently, but it just never feels like enough to build wealth. Well, today I'm pulling back the curtain. I'm sharing the 10 real money moves that help me turn a regular paycheck into real financial growth. Moves you can start today, no matter your income. In our last video, we uncovered the hidden traps that drain the middle class and keep you broke despite earning well. Lifestyle creep, hidden debt, lack of financial education. If that hit close to home, this video is your next step, because now that we know what's holding us back, it's time to focus on what can move us forward. These are not overnight tricks. They're small, intentional actions that shift your money from something you chase to something that starts working for you. Move number 1, automate savings first. This was the first real money move that shifted my mindset from just surviving to actually building wealth. For the longest time, I saved what was left. If anything was left at all, I'd pay bills, spend a little here and there, and hope there'd be something to stash away at the end of the month. But hope is not a strategy. So I changed the approach. I decided my future deserved to come first. I set up an automatic transfer, 10% of my income, straight into a separate savings account the moment my paycheck hit. No second guessing, no delays, just discipline on autopilot. Was it easy? Not at first. That 10% felt like a sacrifice. But week by week, I adjusted, I adapted. And here's the truth, I never missed it. What I gained instead was power, confidence, knowing that I had something building quietly in the background, an emergency fund, an investment fund, a future fund. This move taught me something powerful. Saving isn't about how much you earn. It's about what you prioritize. And when you put your future first, your finances begin to follow. Move number 2, track every dollar you spend. If there's one habit that woke me up financially, it was this. I started tracking every single dollar I spent. And what I discovered shocked me. It wasn't the big expenses that were draining me. It was the little mindless ones. A $4 coffee here, a random app subscription there, that late night food delivery I didn't even need. Before I knew it, hundreds of dollars had slipped through my fingers, quietly, consistently. So I made a rule. Every dollar must have a name. Every swipe, every click, every cash withdrawal. I wrote it down. Whether it was through an app, a spreadsheet, or good old pen and paper, I started paying attention. And you know what happens when you start tracking? You become more intentional. You slow down. You start asking yourself, do I really need this? Or am I just spending out of habit? Tracking gave me clarity. It showed me exactly where my money was going, and more importantly, how to redirect it, not toward junk or impulse buys, but toward freedom, progress, and purpose. You can't change what you don't measure. So if you're ready to take control, start by watching your money, because where your money goes, your life follows. Move number 3, cut out the financial noise. There's a lot of noise out there. Everyone has an opinion on what you should be doing with your money. Invest in crypto, start a side hustle, buy land, sell it, flip it, cut out coffee. No, buy coffee stock. And after a while, all that advice becomes overwhelming. You start jumping from one strategy to the next without committing to any. You end up confused, paralyzed, burned out. That's what happened to me. I was consuming too much content and taking too little action. So I made a decision. I tuned out the noise and tuned into what worked for me. I picked just a few trusted voices to learn from. I stopped chasing every trend and started focusing on long-term principles. Things like spend less than you earn, invest consistently, save with purpose. And guess what? That simplicity brought me clarity. Clarity gave me confidence. And confidence allowed me to finally build real momentum. You don't need 100 strategies. You need a handful of good habits, done consistently. So, if you're overwhelmed by all the financial advice out there, pause, pick your path, stick to it, and let quiet, focused action be your superpower. Move number 4, Build one income stream outside your job. One of the biggest shifts in my financial journey came when I realized this. If all your income comes from your job, you're one decision away from being broke. Your salary might be stable today, but companies restructure, managers change, life happens, and if your income stops, everything you built stands on shaky ground. That's why I made a goal to build just one stream of income that didn't depend on my 9 to 5. It didn't have to be flashy. I started small, tutoring online for a few hours a week. Eventually, I created a digital product, something I built once but could sell over and over. That little stream became a river, and more importantly, it gave me peace. Peace that I wasn't relying on just one paycheck. Peace that I was slowly moving from survival to security. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Can you teach something? Sell a service? Rent out a skill, a tool, even a room? Start with one. Start small, but start. Because when you add a second income stream, you're not just making more money, you're buying freedom $1 at a time. Move number 5. Live like you're behind, even when you're ahead. One of the most powerful decisions I ever made was this. Even when my income went up, I didn't upgrade my lifestyle. That's hard in a world where success is measured by what you drive, where you live, or how you dress. But here's the truth most won't tell you. Living below your means is not a sign of poverty. It's a strategy for freedom. When I got a raise, I didn't move to a bigger house. I didn't buy the newest phone. I didn't eat out more. Instead, I saved more. I invested more. I accelerated my goals. And yes, it required discipline. Sometimes it meant saying no to things I could easily afford. But every time I made that choice, I was telling my future self, I've got you, because wealth isn't built by spending more when you earn more. It's built by consistently creating a gap between your income and your expenses, and using that gap to grow. So even when you're ahead, live like you're behind, because humility today leads to freedom tomorrow. Move number 6. Learn one new money skill every year. One of the smartest moves I ever made wasn't about earning more. It was about learning more. Each year, I committed to mastering just one money skill. Not 10, just one. The first year, I learned how to budget properly. I finally saw where my money was going, and it shocked me. That knowledge alone helped me plug leaks and save hundreds. The next year, I studied investing. I didn't become an expert overnight, but I learned enough to confidently start. And that one skill changed my long-term trajectory forever. After that, it was taxes, then real estate, then how to negotiate better pay. One skill at a time, 1 year at a time. Think of it like this. If you gain one money skill each year, in 5 years you're no longer financially confused. You're financially powerful. It doesn't take a finance degree, just a willingness to learn through books, podcasts, videos, courses. Because when you understand how money works, you stop working blindly for it and start making it work for you. Move number 7. Track net worth, not just income. For years, I measured my financial progress by one thing: how much I earned. If my salary increased, I thought I was doing better. If I got a bonus, I felt successful. But something was off, because even with a growing income, my wealth wasn't growing. I was earning more, but not really keeping more. That's when I discovered the real metric that matters: net worth. Not how much money comes in, but how much you actually keep after debts and expenses. So I made a shift. Every quarter, I sat down and listed everything I owned, savings, investments, assets, and subtracted everything I owed: credit cards, loans, bills. That number? That's your financial truth. It's humbling at first, but it's also powerful, because what gets measured gets improved. Tracking my net worth helped me stay focused. It showed me what was working and what wasn't. And slowly, that number began to rise, not by accident, but by intention. You don't need a fancy spreadsheet. Just start. Write it down. Track it consistently. Watch it grow. Because wealth isn't just about what you earn. It's about what you build. Move number 8. Build credit intentionally. I used to ignore my credit score. It felt like this mysterious number that didn't matter until I needed it. Then came the reality check. When I tried to rent a better apartment, they checked my credit. When I applied for a business loan, they checked my credit. Even something as simple as getting a phone contract. Yep, they checked my credit. That's when I realized your credit score is like your adult report card, and it can open or close doors. So I decided to build it with intention. I started by paying all my bills on time, every single one. Then I kept my credit utilization low, never maxing out my credit cards. I didn't close old accounts because the length of your credit history matters. And every now and then, I check my credit report for errors because even small mistakes can hurt you. Little by little, my score rose, and with it came lower interest rates, better financial options, and more freedom. Your credit score isn't just a number, it's a tool. Use it wisely and it can save you thousands. Ignore it and it can cost you even more. Move number 9. Surround yourself with financially minded people. One of the most powerful moves I made wasn't just about money. It was about people. I realized that the people around me influenced how I thought, how I spent, and how I saved. If your circle normalizes debt, overspending, or avoiding money conversations, it's easy to fall into the same patterns. But when you surround yourself with people who think long-term, who talk about investing, budgeting, building wealth, something shifts. Their mindset rubs off on you. Their discipline challenges you. Their goals inspire you. You don't have to ditch your old friends. Just be intentional about adding new ones. Follow finance creators online, like this Wealth Quench YouTube channel. Join communities focused on personal growth. Attend a workshop. Have one honest money conversation with someone who's a step ahead. You'll be amazed how much your mindset can grow just by changing the room you're in. Because wealth isn't built in isolation. It's shaped by your environment. Move number 10. Invest in self-education relentlessly. One of the best investments I ever made wasn't in stocks, real estate, or business. It was in knowledge. Because I realized if I wanted to change my finances, I had to first change the way I think about money. And that starts with education. No one taught me this stuff in school. No one sat me down and explained how compound interest works, or how to analyze my spending, or why time is more powerful than money. So I took responsibility. I picked up my first personal finance book. I started listening to podcasts during my commute. I followed creators who broke down financial concepts in simple, clear ways. And every week, I carved out just 30 minutes to learn something new. It didn't feel like much at first, but it added up. The more I learned, the more confident I became. I started seeing options where I used to feel stuck. And most importantly, I stopped feeling like money was a mystery. When you invest in your self-education, you're not just learning to manage money. You're learning to build a life with choices, a life with freedom. And that kind of return is priceless. And there you have it. These are the money moves that transformed how I handle my income and slowly but surely built real wealth. The truth is, wealth isn't about luck. It's about intention. It's about small, consistent decisions that stack up over time. You don't need to earn 6 figures to get ahead. You need discipline, clarity, and the courage to do things differently from the crowd. So if even one of these moves resonated with you, start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Momentum builds from action, not perfection. Let me know in the comments which move you even take action on first. And if you found this video valuable, please like it, subscribe to Wealth Quench, and share it with someone who's ready to take control of their money story. Your financial freedom is not just possible, it's waiting for you to choose it.